And they told him they wanted to carry her to the hospital, so they put her in the back of the DPS car, and she hugged my neck. She said, "Richard, I love you," and put her in a car, and they took her to the hospital. But before that happened, I said, "Rosie, which way did he go?" She just pointed that way. That's the reason we concentrated on the south part of town.
It was basically downtown Big Sandy. There's like a 2 or 3 block stretch right in the heart of the city, and that's all you could do.
I guess when he realized she was gone, and he went right back the same way that he'd come down there.
At the same time, there are helicopters overhead, there are people coming in, there are people going out, law officers with guns, people with dogs.
He goes back across that road, goes up, way up here behind the school.
Had you maneuvered out of this really kind of close, encapsulated area, you didn't want to be mistaken for Jerry McFadden or anybody in a position where you didn't supposed to be. It was very serious.
Right straight back down to a vacant house right across from the school, and that's where he stayed. So I went to the Big Sandy School, and I took, I think it's 5 or 6 tactical teams and dog units up there, because Dale asked me if I'd handle it since I knew the city. And I drew them out up on the deal, and we assigned each one of these units, which contained about 5 officers and a dog, and they started over here on 155 South, and they started walking. And I know one of the other reasons that he stayed there and never really moved, because can you imagine when you have 100 police cars at a school and you're right across the street, okay? And then the finally began to wrap down. We had been doing this, still hadn't caught him, and Dale asked me, "What do you think?" And I said, "Well, Dale," I said, "I come up with one other idea." And he said, "What's that?" I said, "I would like to back everybody up 1 mile. He's gonna move because he's gonna think we're all gone." I said, and I'm not meaning to be whatever. I said, "Tell the media, we'll come back tomorrow. We're going home." I said, "And let them put that on the air." I said, "Okay." They didn't argue or nothing, and that's what we were fixing to do. But I said, "One more thing before we do this." I said, "Up north, we didn't put the search teams." I said, "Could I get some of the tactical units to go back north, and anything vacant, anything that's a storage building or a house that has not been entered, I want them to break into it." 15 minutes later, the radio went off, and Collin County Tactical Unit said, "We got him." And what they had done when they went up by that house that I told you, they looked, and he had already figured we were leaving because he'd calmed down, and he had opened a window, was going to climb out, and they knew the window wasn't supposed to be open. One of the guys told him that was with them, that window wasn't open, and they thought they saw a shadow. They turned around, went back, and they hollered, and he said, "It's me, it's, Jerry." They said, "Jerry who?" And he said, "McFadden." And they told him to throw the gun out, and he did, and they went in there and got him.
And within 30 minutes, he was back inside the very cell in Upshur County Jail that he had escaped from 2 days before. His trial began almost a year to the day later, and after hearing evidence, the jury took just 35 minutes to deliberate, and then delivered a guilty verdict and sentenced him to the death penalty, a penalty which was carried out on October 14th, 1999, just shy of the new millennium, bringing to a close the darkest chapter in the history of Hawkins, Texas. But that darkness didn't destroy everything. Rosalie, now remarried, spends almost all her time giving back to her new home of Texarkana. Whether it's through her job as a caregiver at a local nursing home, or by helping her husband Gary mentor kids by teaching them how to play the drums, Rosalie chooses to count her blessings and makes every day of her life matter.
Me personally, I know that I'm living a blessed life because God is the head of my life. He has given me another chance in life, and I don't take that lightly. I don't take that for granted. I have purpose. I have meaning for my life, even more so today than I ever have, by just thinking and being thankful to God for the many blessings that He gives me every day. My husband, my children, I'm just thankful. I'm just thankful.